Let's go. Proxy Table Gaming, PTG, Lucky Sixes, and Hyper G.
Go!
Someone's had some Dr. Pepper, so he's feeling a little bit hyped. What's the worst that could happen? Well, we could get cancelled as a YouTube channel.
Yeah, we
That
will.
would be the end of
I think this is our most
everything.
likely one to get cancelled. There's too much sugar involved.
Yeah, and probably nudity later. But yes.
Spoilers! Spoilers! Come on.
Yeah, that routine you showed me, I wish I could unsee that. But anyway, yeah.
Everyone says that, you know.
Everyone. Yeah. Right. So we are still at ETC. We've barely really got started actually because of the preamble beforehand, all the friendlies you play.
Friendlies and ashes and all that jazz. We are still in day one, but it is our second battle. And England face off against Luxembourg.
Ooh.
We'll stroll past where on the tables we are playing.
Yeah.
We are playing Luxembourg, who were really, really cool gents. They were.
I wouldn't know I wouldn't know that was their flag. I'm assuming that's the right flag this time around. But
oh god, you know, me guessing now. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know what it would be. I wouldn't even guess. I'm sure that's right. Yeah. It's a nice flag actually. It goes well with the blue background that you've got.
It does actually. Yes, that's very nice. Thank you. Thank you. Google Images. Yeah. Yeah. That's probably more why I'm confident, because it's Google told me. But
well, if Google says it's right, then it's right. You know, I'm sorry, Luxembourg, for that.
So even if Luxembourg think it's wrong,
yeah, Google says otherwise.
Yeah.
No. Luxembourg or Luxembourg?
Luxembourg. This isn't Star Trek, mate.
No, it's not.
Anyway, so we go on to the game itself, and I was against the Luxembourg ETC captain.
Another cap for your
captain. And this is my list for people that will quick brief pause.
Yep.
This is to show that we're pausing. I should stop. And then we move on to the High Elves, and obviously I was my own personal dealings with High Elves. I was very excited to play. But I do know also that they're very good and very maneuverable, and the vampires are not so maneuverable, although they do have magic things. So yeah, blocky, but things. But so yeah,
7 Queensguard. Only seven. That's amazing. I mean, they're still going to be awesome, but 7.
So the biggest things, obviously, the biggest things I looked at in this list and where I come up with my predictions was the Griffin Prince, because he's amazing. He's very, very good.
Everyone takes him now. Sometimes with, sometimes without Nova Flare.
Yeah, pretty much.
But that build is just auto take in Highborn.
It's a great build. You know, so the divine attacks on him is going to be the major one for my characters. You look at then the commander on Dragon, which is baller. I'm very happy.
You're just enjoying this battle.
It's just. Yeah, I really had to struggle to not just have fun in this one, because it was and the
game face.
Yeah, as well. Giulio, which I think I'm absolutely battering his pronunciation of that. He was a great opponent. We had lots of fun, and he was very friendly, and we chatted a lot and stuff. Which I don't know whether it's a tactic to let my guard down.
Absolutely.
But it certainly worked. From his
Luxembourgians.
That's probably
wrong too.
But yeah, so Commander on Dragon. But again, he has a great weapon, the stomps and stuff like that. Obviously, in challenges and things, going to be quite tough. I then have the Mage Cosmo on an Eagle, which I'm a big fan of.
I've not yet seen a mage on an eagle not die in a battle, so I'll be looking forward. I'll be looking at that.
I mean, Destiny School will help that as well.
Yes, it will. Correct.
But yeah, so in terms of that, you've got decent magic, very, very maneuverable. All of them are flyers. Core was 2 lots of Reavers, unit of Lancers, and 2 units of Sea Guard, so min core stuff in terms of scoring, things like that. Then he's got a Frost Phoenix with the Warden's Bond, which I think is one of the best units in our game because it's like a free spell. I consider that. The 6 Knights Rhymer, always a favourite of mine, so that's cool to see. Initiate the Fire Heart, the new boy, he's very, very good and adds a bit more magic and manoeuvrability. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flyers in this list. So lots of lateral, what they call it, lateral movement. And all that jazz. Then finishing off with Queen's Guard and Grey Watchers, 7 of each, so the -1 to hit on the Grey Watchers.
That's cool.
And Flaming on the Queen's Guard at strength 4 as well. So just for some extra scoring, I guess, extra shooting at 30 inches, and maybe even chaff as well. So a lot of things can sort of fall into lots of categories, but the main thing for me was obviously all the flaming around, because we've got a bit of on the Initiate the Fire Heart, double magic missile, and the divine attacks on the Prince. So yeah, let's go. Dawn Assault, King of the Hill. King of the Hill is always a drawish one. So
yes, it is
factored into the predictions as well. And in terms of predictions, this was a team. So despite my concerns, I did have this as a green, although I had it as a 12 green, so like a small victory, rather than
sort of slightly paler green.
yeah, it could be said, but a green nonetheless. So let's see if I can deliver. I mean,
you're going in hot because you've got 2 practice wins and a draw, so confidence is high, right?
Yeah, confidence is good. We haven't lost, so, and I was expecting to lose big 3 times, so bulla. So there we go. He's obviously the captain, trying not to play the player playing the list and things. He does have a lot of shooting and maneuverability, in terms of shooting with magic as well. Lump that in with that, but can he get through my stuff in order to win the objective? And I'm thinking maybe if I don't get the objective, I should be able to ping enough stuff off from him. So that's my thought. Team wise, we paired very well. We got lots, as you can see, a sea of green basically, apart from Darren. Poor Darren.
Poor Verminous Darren.
Poor Vermin. Yeah, the rat gets the back. I think that's just our team clearly hated rats as well as everyone else. So you're just like, you can have the worst one. But yeah, matrix wise, we should come out with a win. So can we deliver? That's
I will be expecting no less.
So far, 3 fairly big losses. In
despite good matchups.
Good matchups. So come on, guys. This is the time.
Sort yourselves out, boys.
This is a matchup.
Where the magic was happening.
Or just before it actually. And the Captain of Luxembourg is the one central in that, wearing the jacket, in between the 2 caps. I'm trying to do that like that. Yes, a really, really fun guy. Really, really cool guy to play. Right, and this is deployment, and in terms of yes, it is. So the board, and this is the King of the Hill thing. I lost the roll for sides. Now it's
I'm already
Dawn
disappointed
Assault.
in you.
I know. I already feel like giving up. But he then chose the top left. So top left, which means he can choose either the water or the field. However, I cannot choose this hill down here
because it's not completely outside of your deployment zone.
Yeah, exactly.
And the other one's impassable.
And the other one's impassable. So he chose the top, chose the water. So I had to choose the field, which was really, really bad. Now, I am going forward. I am, out of the 2 of us, I'm the one coming forward. However, being right in the centre allows all his flying models to get around and me to really struggle to get my... So
you can't look in every direction at once. I
really need to not be flanked in this one because he's got a lot of stuff that can deal with it if he goes into my main unit. So that was a consideration. So I kind of I'm at a bit of a disadvantage there, but as I said, getting the King of the Hill could still be a draw, and I decided to put I dropped for first, went after the 3 for 3. I think we did 3 each.
Although with King of the Hill, though, you say that you've got to get to the field. You don't actually have to get to the field, do you? You just have to stop him getting to the field.
Yes.
So actually, he needs to hold the field against you.
Yes.
So,
but I dropped first, so possibly I should have dropped for second in that. But being dropping for first, I now need to stop him on the last turn getting into the field.
yeah, and your knights need to go round the impassable and take on whatever he's got in that.
Yeah, so I did that anyway
to get to the water.
You know what? This is going to be my best gambit to actually get to the water because I've got my ghasts and my things there. I've got an impassable there, so I can hide my wraiths as well. So I went up that way, I dropped first, and he deployed. So I've got my from left to right dogs, spirit hosts, skeletons with vampires, ghouls, what are they called? Little bats. Then the ghasts, wraiths, and dogs. Dogs are very, very far back because I know that they're easy points to be shot by elves.
Yeah. The grey watchers and Queen's Guard will take them right off.
Yeah. And then obviously on the right flank, Vampire Knight. I'll move us down now that I've done that. Has left to right, so looking over that left-hand side. The dragon is the one facing that way.
Yep.
Obviously for a little bit extra movement. The griffin's directly behind him. He's got a phoenix next to them, with lancers behind the three monsters and some grey watchers. Excuse me. Then in the middle, he's got reavers and 2 units of Sea Guard in the forest. Queen's Guard next to them. The 2 flying mages on over there, basically opposite my wraiths. So even more important than that, impassable. Then reavers and Knights of Rhymer. So he's looking to again zone me enough to stop me going into the thing with his Rhymer, and otherwise try and come round and have the Sea Guard in the field. So really
I like his deployment actually. I mean, I don't dislike yours, I'll say, but I do like what he's done there.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about mine. Mine was just I need to zone as much as possible, as early as possible. He for what it's worth as well. He and I can always tell this, and obviously this is ETC, so I should expect it. But he was very good on his measurements. Because I dropped for first, he moved away exactly enough that I couldn't magic him with anything. Turn 1.
Sure. Yeah.
So he was very, very good on that front. So I already know I'm a good deployment, good opponent.
Yeah.
This is my moving up turn 1, and I'll shuffle it. This might happen. I'll shuffle this up so you can see my deployment. My knights basically come round with my dogs coming over there to help see if they can chaff. Maybe I don't know. I need my vampires more central, so they pop out of the skeletons and go into the ghouls. I'm just thinking that his units, as good as they are, won't be able to chew through all of my infantry once they get in late game. If they get in turn 2, but I don't think they'll be able to handle those 3 big blocks.
No.
In terms of infantry, so I don't necessarily need my characters in there to hold him up. So it's all about counter charges more than anything. I move up a little bit, mostly with the gas because they're the least.
I've only just noticed your ghouls are in bus formation.
They are this time. Well, there's no reason.
And your vampires are in them instead of the skeletons.
Yes, well, I just moved them over to be more central for my marching purposes. Otherwise, I just move up ever so slightly just to basically zone that area and say, if you go close, I'm going to get you. Gas move up the most. Wraiths are behind the impassable as well. So hopefully they're safe.
You weren't worried about taking DTs on skeletons for going through the ruins?
No, not
of course not.
Not
especially with an arise.
Well, I get 3 arises off, and I get 20 skeletons back in my turn 1. I think he lets 2 go.
Did you have 20 skeletons to put on?
I did, yeah.
I was going to say, because that's one of these things that could definitely be pulled out at ETC.
I've got another 35, I think. So I had basically another unit of them, just in case something like this happened. So so there you go. That's the added skeletonness.
Yeah.
There. In his turn 1, annoyingly. I don't think I would have gone.
You couldn't have done much about that.
Yeah. But annoyingly, he's very high up very soon. because obviously the dragon doesn't have magical attacks. Is the only
Oh,
thing.
I was going to say,
could have
Phantom Host could have actually held them.
held him up, but not the.
Yeah.
I mean, even if I go in, I hold him up, and then he goes in with Griffin. So
Yeah.
there's only limited time he would actually do that. But yeah, he has got around my flank with all the 3 flyers. And we've got to be a bit careful of that.
The thing is, though, you just turn to face him. No, okay.
Yeah, potentially. Over here, and I'll go back to a few things so you can see. So I thought my wraiths were fine, but obviously these guys are flyers. And I've put them quite over to the left side of that thing. So they literally march up to, I don't know, to about here. Far enough away from my gas, but being all the things... Gigantic they can see. And they only need to just touch one of those things.
They're on large beasts, or they're on large cavalry. So they've got large and tall, which means they can see over the ghasts.
Yeah. And
who are not tall.
And it also means that they've got enough movement to just come over and just be exactly 24 inches, seeing the
tiniest speck of
millimeter wrist.
Rates,
and because of that,
that's all they need.
Ice and
Ice and Fire?
I think, does 4.
Would be.
I stopped the other one. And this is actually, I think, after my movement, because I'm like, I'm going to move over that way. Even
bit further, make him come near.
This is where I should have been first turn.
Yeah.
Annoyingly. So this is
big red arrow.
Oh, so I kind of jumped the gun on this one. This is just me showing that my vampires have moved out, just in case I'd forgotten to say. But both the vampires have moved out into that unit.
I spot that big wing anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. And I literally just do exactly that. As we said, I turn to face. I'm not too bothered by them going in solo to either of those units, as long as I've got counter charge. I move up the spirit host to give him a problem into his backfield, so he's got to deal with me. Otherwise, I'm going to go another 12 inches up there and really cause him some ruckus on his skeleton units. And the dogs just move out of arc of the two flyers, really, so to see if I can be of help later on.
Are you not worried about the griffin coming into the side of the ghasts?
That's the mage, so no.
So no. Okay. So
I've also got my vampire on that side.
I think in my head I just had your griffin model.
I did that.
So the other one is the other side.
Pretty much on purpose, because knowing that he has to maximise, and I would have a counter charge with ghouls if he goes in, and I can probably deal with it anyway. Because he's only
that model, yes, absolutely.
Even both going in, I know like the initiate, he's not that great. They're not.
No, those two are fine. You did say earlier that those.
Because it's only an eagle, not a griffin as well. So they go in, they're not doing anything to me. I'm probably good. They might hold me up.
Yeah.
But that's nearly 1,000 points there. So
yeah,
I'm banking on him doing the sensible thing.
Plus, you got a vampire character in the ghast on that side, haven't you?
Yeah.
So exactly. It's no brainer.
But regardless, I move the vampires up this way to get some pot shots at them. Really, see if I can occultism and evo them where possible. The other guys just move up around the flank. I'm just edging up. Really, the bats going that way as well for a bit of double chaff. If the chance ever arises, really. Over here, he lets a touch of the Reaper off, but I only do 1 wound. I'm like, that could have really scared him a bit, but hey, 1 wound's 1, so I can't complain. I get, as my second spell, I think I put Grave Calls on him, and he stops that with all his dice.
Yeah, makes sense.
Then I get a cheeky 2 dice Breath Corruption off and kill 3 Queen's Guard in the subsequent shooting phase. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's no healing, so that is 3 dead from that point of view. Over here, his Griffin goes into the Spirit Host to deal with them with the Divine Attacks, as we said. And one thing I kind of missed was those 5 Lancers at the back. Movement 9.
Up behind the flyers, yeah.
Only need an 8 to get into these dogs. And that was a bit of that's just a complete mistake, really. I thought, get out of line of sight, I'll be fine. And he was like, oh yeah, I'm movement 9, so this is an 8. I was like, Oh, that's closer than I thought. Oh,
Yeah,
oh
it looks pretty
goodness.
far away. Yeah, but
Yeah, but yeah, is what it is. He also charges his Phoenix into the Spirit Host as well, to get them up there.
okay.
So just to make sure that
Mm.
definitely happens. He gets in with all three, and then moves up
It
like
is,
so.
yeah.
He is not scared with his dragon. He says, "Come on,"
Mm.
just chaffs basically, and then chaffs with his Reavers as well. So there's no counter charges with the gas. So
Do
he
you
is.
think he wouldn't have done that if your vampires were still in the skeletons?
I don't know because he can challenge, and he is thinner than my court, so he can choose which ones he goes
Sure.
into, and he can, which is something I never factored into anything, because he's only 50 mil wide and I am 60 mil wide. So
Yeah.
his maximizing going in solo is only 2 models. So he chooses where he goes. Then if I decline a, so obviously he puts it on the guy that's only got 5 up pages. Then if I decline, he chooses the other, that guy to not attack. So I don't know. I think this was a safe play for me because I could just hold him up then.
Oh,
Nothing
absolutely.
too
Yeah.
extravagant, or I can just not go in as well. This is another thing. So
Yeah,
let's see what he does.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything else in and chaffed otherwise. This is an overview of his stuff. So he's just moving his things ever so slightly forward, getting into range for shooting, for example, and then just zoning me on that right side. Obviously can't shoot my gas this turn, but there are some combats, so he might want to do that, so to speak. I think he might have got some magic off already. I think he got the hereditary off in this turn. But I can't remember. But shooting, and I have a smile. Even though that looks like bad damage, the smiley face is my champion is still alive, baby.
You only one. Yeah.
He is still alive.
Great.
Over here, this is my skeletons versus his shooting. So a decent amount. I mean, he killed 11, right? So
that seems like a bit of a waste to me, though.
I'm still 9 up, though. That's
Yeah.
my thought. So I'm not too bothered. But yeah, I guess it's whittling me down a little bit. Over here, and he doesn't quite chaff me from going into the Phoenix with my skeletons. And from my point of view, that's probably the easiest of the 3 to actually kill. It does present an issue of things going into my flank.
If you fail, or if you don't go through him.
But remember now, I don't have my characters in there. So the main, if I lose that unit, it will be annoying and it'll be points, but it won't be the end of the game like it has been in the past.
And it'll take him, 2 rounds of combat at least to go through them? It should take
him a lot, a decent amount. And if I can keep raising them, it will keep, every raise is basically another
round of combat.
Another round of combat. So, so not overly fast, and I only need like a 5, I think, to get into him. It's
just
not,
don't roll what the dice show on the gas as well.
Imagine, and obviously the gas going to clear the chaff. They both get in, and thankfully the skeletons get in. So it's an interesting one. There's no slouch, and he does have a thunderstorm. So we'll
but your combat res 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a standard, 2, another one for a legion. So you're 6 up. You've got 2 legions or 1? 1
legion and a charge. You already counted that. But so I'm 6 up. Yes. If I can do 1 or 2, it's basically going, well, can I do the wounds to him over several rounds of combat and him not coming into me?
And it's a Frost Phoenix, isn't it? So it's only got a 5 up armor. It hasn't got any Aegis. So
it's got an Aegis. Yeah, 5 up Aegis as well. So yeah. The one thing I kind of don't factor in, is my dog's dying, obviously, and his lance being right up in my grill as well.
That's a few more attacks going on. Yeah.
Yeah, if he does decide to go all in with that, and he can get it with like fire movement stuff, then that might be a bit tricky. And that's one thing I do it and I go, oh god, I'll poker face. It's fine.
Of course,
I want you to go in with the lances with my AP naught guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
With no parrying the side. I want you to do it. I move up my ghouls just to face basically this way, so I can start pew-pewing those guys. Dragon has no Aegis save, so maybe I can get a few wounds there. And the guys on the right again, just sort of teeter forward somewhat. The dog, I'm hoping to at some point get a raise on and then push him back up. Yeah, I don't know. On hindsight, I'm not sure why I put him there exactly, but
I thought you'd be pulling the trigger over there. Actually, I mean, although
Yeah.
he has still got unit Reavers.
In
hanging
my
around,
head,
so
he's
that's the
got
issue.
2 units of chaff over there that
Yeah,
can chaff
that's
me in
it.
order to get the Rymanites in.
Mm.
I know the initiate's not technically chaff, but if it was to kill my vampire knights, I think he would do it.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
but
It goes
yeah.
back to your little Equitane wizard girl, doesn't it? You know,
Yes,
using
it
her
does.
as chaff. It's
Use
sometimes the
whatever you
greater
can.
good. Yeah.
Great, kill the damsel that everyone loves.
The damsel, that was the word I was looking for. Yeah.
Yeah, the
The damsel chaff.
Yeah, the beloved. Go on. Just push it.
Yeah.
Go on.
Off you go, girl. We're here to protect you, but you need to protect us now.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So this is overview and with the dogs. I actually go in and do 3 runes to the Phoenix, which I'm pretty happy with.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's
From
not
that point
bad.
of view, I obviously killed the Rymanites as well. I don't have too much in the way of shuffling of what do you call it, reforming or pivoting.
Okay.
With the gas actually as well. It's one thing I didn't think of. Because of I had to go in exactly how I am there with the Phoenix because of the way where the dragon was. So actually it wasn't the best. So I decided to overrun to try and get out of line of sight, and I think I do. Oh no, I don't get out of line of sight, but there's nowhere he
can't
go
complete.
to complete. So it was like if I had gone 2 more inches, this was it. I think if I got a 7, I would have still been in his line of sight, and he would have been able to clip me on the corner.
Yeah.
But if I'd got a 6, I'm where I am now, and if I got an 8, I would have been out of his line of sight. So it was like, I'm not gonna get 7. It was one of them. But yeah, so that's where we end up after combat.
So he held with his Phoenix, even though you did 3 wounds to it, and plus the static combat res. The Phoenix didn't run away.
Discipline 9 is 10 from the.
I guess. Yeah,
no,
true.
10 from the Prince.
I was just thinking, if you did 3 wounds plus 6 static combat res.
I mean, he did a bunch to me. He did. I'm not looked, but
fair enough.
Thunder something 6, I think. So, but yeah, and this is something again. I'm perhaps a bit too gung ho with my ghouls because he's flyers and he can definitely see me, and both of his flyers go into my unit with both of my vampire courtiers, general and BSB. He positions
once he's got
exactly
through the vampires,
where he wants to be.
I'm guessing he's not within the range of the court either for a minus agility buff.
He is on the Prince, but not on the Dragon.
Okay.
But the Dragon is a great weapon, so.
Well,
I guess
reflex is a great weapon.
Yeah.
Still,
so yeah, so
okay, so some nervous Aegis saves.
And it wasn't like as well. I didn't have to be that close.
No.
And when he said, I was like, oh, yeah, of course.
I think you were probably just seeing the whole waves of skeletons being removed by lancers and 2 flyers, and not really.
I wanted to be in a position where I was good for marching and a good position to countercharge. And this is what happens when you sort of...
He just charged you to stop the countercharge,
He also went in with his lancers, and that's not the best. Although they're not the best. They're lancers. They're not Rymanites. I'm not... I've done this in the past and it's whiff. So
but you're going to be there all day. That's the end of
maybe there's that. The only saving grace, and it's something that I didn't say in the last thing, is that I did get a touch of the Reaper and do 2 wounds to his dragon. So he's down. To 4 wounds. So it's not out of the realms of possibility that I can at least hold 1 turn. I don't know.
Really?
It's
I mean, these are ghouls. So you got poison, but no parry.
We'll see. I mean, the Griffin, to be fair, is 4 up, 4 up. That's all he's got. So I haven't got any spells off. Is the issue?
Tell me that with my Mega Battle Catapult. Yeah.
4
up, 4 up. Anyway, carry on. It's not about me.
So the other spell I got off, I think he tried to stop. He tried to stop something. I think it was Whispers of the Veil on the Phoenix. I did get off Spectral Blades, which is why there's so many wounds as well. It's Spectral Blades, but it's not Lethal Strike.
Yeah.
So him going into the front, he still has a 2 up against me. So, but I do have A lot of wounds. Maybe if I can, I'm really trying to clutch at this point.
Mm.
That Griffin in the middle is just because he fits easier if he's on a little base, so he's just there watching. He's not a real model, so to speak. And he's moved up one of his sea guards to chaff my ghasts. So at least I don't think he's going through into the ghasts. I think the ghasts will start picking up some points now, can get into its backfield, and hopefully that's the objective. Depends what the Lancers do. But hopefully that's the objective at least drawn. So there's glimmers of hope everywhere, but
yeah, I'd be concerned about the skeletons dying.
Well, my only concern at this point was the vampires. I was like, oh,
of course.
Has that just killed? And I was doing it in my head, and I was like, I'm sure I've got those maths wrong, but I think they die. Divine attacks, right? So
yeah.
Over here, he does 1 wound. I think in some sort of shooting or something, but it's largely irrelevant. And this is after combat, baby.
What?
What, baby?
Is that 2 stomps? Did he roll double one on? No, I suppose the Griffin only has 1 stomp, but
the dragon ends up in a challenge with my champion because I do have a champion. So he eats.
Yeah, and he can't decline easy because it would waste all the attacks. So he has to accept with one of them.
So we know the champion's dead. However, all his attacks from his dragon, from his BSB, and the stomps do a total of 2 wounds. Oh, that's nice.
Wow.
The Griffin, the Lord, goes into my general. Remember, he's got Nova Flare as well.
Yeah.
So he's charging in. He does a total of 1 wound to my general, who has 4 up. So he's already going through the armor because he's AP3, and I'm re-rolling my successful 4-ups. And boy, do I re-roll my successful 4-ups. Boy, do I. So I end up with only taking 1 wound. I'm like, okay, well that's
and that was the stomp that the Griffin does.
The stomp,
I imagine.
Yeah, the Griffin then went into me.
Just a 1 stomp, and he had to do on the unit.
And I would say it's me rolling well, but it was him rolling so many ones. Like I can't even tell you how many ones. It was like 7 out of 8. It was like ridiculous. Like the odds of him rolling what he rolled was insane. And to top it off, I was rolling decent on my
Well, yeah.
So like he got it might have only got like 3 wounds in total with this Griffin onto my Lord, which is bad in itself. Yeah. And I rolled 2 out of 3 and then 2 out of 2.
4 ups. 4 ups. Yeah.
So like it was just a mixture of and then the dragon only doing that is just come on, like madness. So.
At least from his perspective, he has Nova Flare.
That's bad enough, right? Yeah, that's bad enough. And then I go and do 2 wounds from my general.
Yeah.
To his.
Well, you would.
Prince.
You were never worried about hitting him back, really. The issue was being alive to hit him back.
Yeah.
And once you pass that, you're probably going to win him. Yeah.
In total, he's got 3 wounds, a charge, and a BSB for 5. I've got a BSB and 3 wounds.
And 3 ranks.
2 wounds and 3 ranks. So I actually win combat.
No down standards on calls.
The craziest thing that I win combat in my eyes. He holds with both, but man, that was insane.
Well, now you're actually thinking, all I need to do it again, and then I'll pop the Griffin.
I'll pop the Griffin. Can I do? Can I get any magic? Can I get a heal? This could work, guys. Come on. A glimmer of hope is back on. The hope is back on. Over here, and the wave of skeleton
begins to be diminished.
Going. I do another wound to the Phoenix, so he's down to 4.
You do. Well done.
Out of 4 out of 5. Sorry, but nothing to the Lancers, and actually they do a decent amount all told.
The issue I guess you've got is that the Warden's Bond means chances are that Phoenix coming back, and that's just freedom for it because it runs away.
Which now is frustrating, but at least I get the points.
Is that right? You get the points now, the full points.
So he comes. Okay. So the Warden's Bond thing allows him to come back easier, but now Rebirth, you get the points, and you can only ever come back on wound.
Okay, so it's basically a free model to use as you like.
It's a free
from the
chaff model.
Highborn perspective, yeah.
You can't heal him as well.
No, okay, fair enough, yeah.
So
and you can't save half points either.
Yeah, that got taken. I
okay.
still think it's great. By the way, I
Mm-hmm.
still think it's a fantastic concept, and I think like doing that now makes it work mechanically within the game as well. Because before you could get him back and then raise one wound. Happy days, he's back at full. You know, so I think that's a good workaround to that mechanic. I quite like it. But yeah, so I mean, I only need to do one wound to get the point, so that's all it is. That's all it's about. And I've got some vampires on the court as well. You know, so they're decent enough at strength 5.
Vincent,
pop one. Yeah. So
he switched over from the Dark Coach.
So here we are. This is where we're at. My turn next. Let's go.
What are you going to do about it?
And I kind of just teeter on the right hand side. I'm like, okay, we'll just see.
Who's gonna do this? Oh, he's moved some chaff away though.
He has moved.
I
some
suppose he
more
hasn't
into the
really, because the Reavers can go like 30 inches.
But he was also they can go both ways now. All right. I told you we're gonna get cancelled. So yeah, those Reavers. A bit confused in the middle.
Where are we chaffing? Where are we going to die to?
The Ghast go forward and take the bait, quote unquote, of the Sea Guard. And otherwise, I've not really got much else to do, to be honest. So that's where I am. But you can also see like what he did as well, in terms of where he's moved. And this is where I take a time out.
Yes.
Two reasons.
Terry, yes.
Yes, this is purely for Terry's purposes. I should make it into a dwarf one, really, shouldn't I? Anyway,
he would lose his mind.
Anyway, concentrate, focus. Right.
Okay, more Dr. Pepper needed.
Yeah. Right, okay. We're not sponsored, by the way. We maybe could be.
Huh? We're open to offers.
What's the worst that can happen?
I love Dr. Pepper.
That's all I'm saying.
Come on, Dr. Pepper watchers.
Anyway, yeah. So. I take time out. I get Tom over, and I'm like, "Look, I've just lucked out like big time with my vampires. I have options as well with them in terms of magic to buff them up, but I do also have the skeleton that I need to keep on the board just to." So what do I do? And he was like, "You know what? Just you've done the right thing with the Ghast. You've done the right thing with the Vampire Knights. We're zoning. That's great. I think you've just got a combat buff. Don't worry about anything else. Just combat buff your vampires. Get them into the thing, and hope the skeletons can hold out." He also said the secondary reason. He said that once they go into the vampires, call him over for time out so we can watch the ensuing combat. I don't know whether that was narcissistic from his point of view. He just wanted to see me crumble, succeed and whatever. So, so he then was then next to me for the next 15 minutes.
All for one and one for all. Yeah.
So there was two reasons. I needed a bit of support, and that's what he gave me. Certainly, thank you, Tom. Over here, and he fails to. Now, you do see that there are 3 magic off here. By the way. I chuck 4 at Hand of Glory because that's the best thing going on right now. I figure if I save the 4 up rerollable, then I'll save a 3 up rerollable.
Obviously.
That's the best thing. Chuck 4 at it. I get a decent off. I think I can't remember what it was, but it was 14s-ish. So decent things. He chucks all 5 and fails to cast. I think I was 8-5 in this. And fails to spell. Gets like 1/1 as well, so it's like terrible for him. I chuck 2 at Breath Corruption, 2 at Spectral Blades. Again, go for the lower one just to get the thing off. Get them both off, and here we are standing with 3 spells.
Is that Spectral Blades lethal strike as well?
No, it's not. It's the lower one.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say that'd be cheeky. That would.
I had 2 dice, so I think I.
It's like a 10 up, isn't it? The lethal strike one. It's pretty hard.
I was expecting. To have Breath of Corruption and Spectral Blades off because I thought he would stop Hand of Glory. When he didn't get that off and didn't roll any 1s, getting 3 is just like, you know what? Lucky 6s, baby, come on.
Absolutely, yeah.
Over here, and this is after combat again. He does a single. So I obviously don't get in heals, which is makes it even juicier over there. His Nova Flare goes off and only gets 1 wound on me.
Oh, I thought that was dead. Oh, thank goodness.
No, so that's another
Okay.
wound there. I do another wound to his griffin, so I don't kill
So
him.
1 left. Yeah.
But that's great. And I actually go back with my vampire, and so my vampire BSB challenges as
Yes,
well
you would do.
to get in. Like Thunderstomp's annoying. That's the annoying thing. But I'm like, well, I've got breath corruption.
You're 3
on
up to it.
attacks. I've only got to do three wounds. If I could spike 3 6s, on the breath corruption. So let's do it. And I get exactly 3 wounds before the Thunderstomp.
Not just with the breath of corruption, I imagine.
Either, yeah. Not just with that. No, with his attacks as well. I
a
think
few
I did
swings
1
as well,
from attacks and 2 from breath of corruption. I believe. In my head, if I remember right.
Did he not have an Aegis save on the dragon?
It's just a 3 up. So I'm a strength 6 AP3, so he's got a 6 up armor to my attacks, and then no armor
probably 6 up
anything.
from Dragonforged Aegis.
No, because that's only on the rider, so that doesn't work in terms of gigantic.
Oh right, okay.
So, dragon wise, he does no Aegis whatsoever. And unfortunately for him, he pops. It doesn't do anything to me. My 5 up after his AP wise holds as well. I think it's just.
Amazing.
I think he got 2 through, and I saved them both. But it was just like this madness. The last 2 combos were just madness. So I kill the dragon for 3. I do a wound on the griffin.
You had no right to do that.
Literally, I shouldn't be swinging. But here I am swinging. He's done 1 to me. I've got all the combat res. He auto breaks with his griffin. And baby...
I mean, that is great, but you almost actually want the griffin to hang around so you can kill him.
No. Yeah. But so he does go. I mean, at this point, Tom's there next to me as well, my coach. I'm there. I don't know what's happening. Well, once the dragon died and he fled with the thing, I got up, I moved around the table, and I gave the Luxembourg captain the biggest hug ever given anyone at the ETC.
And he punched you in the nuts.
And he punched me in the nuts.
Go away, you horrible person.
Yeah. So I taunted him for the rest. No.
Yeah.
He this is why he's my best sport by far, because this happened and he was still in good spirits.
It's horrible.
And yeah, as he said he wasn't drinking. I offered to buy him a drink every 10 minutes after this.
He's going to need more spirits than you can buy him.
I mean, he got away.
Oh, for goodness sake, what a lucky bastard. Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, in one of the worst turns for High Elves.
Did you just say to the ghouls, don't pursue, let him get away?
Yeah. Oh, actually, he does kill my general by the looks of it, because he's dead.
Oh yeah, he's gone.
So maybe he does go. So I mean, silver lining,
fair, right?
Yeah. We're even. And the Phoenix dies as well as the Sea Guard. I want to say maybe no, the Sea Guard don't die; they run, and I choose not to pursue to go this position. Yeah. Again, it's about keeping that objective
blocking the field,
safe as much as possible. This is what happens. He continues to flee with his griffin, even on discipline 9, because there's no.
Are you failing your skeleton reform, by the way? To turn towards.
Yes, I think I did this turn. I only had the chance this turn.
The vampires pass. Is it your general's dead? So did the vampires pass their discipline to the next guy now, or not?
Not discipline, no. So it's but the court
you're
is
actually
pretty
on the courts.
Yeah, but it's only like I think it's only 7.
Yeah, sure. So it's
failable. But
I
failed it. Didn't get right, but I'm not too bothered with that in terms of that.
Yeah,
because I've still got combat res. He's not, and he's now only strength 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, he continues to flee with the griffin. Moves up to chaff me with his reavers, and we continue to just look at each other on the right hand side. He starts shooting, and he's doing little bits here, little bits there. I do need to be careful I don't lose points with those wraiths, but such is the way. I come in and charge him over here because
the skeletons died enough to open up a gap for you. Well done, skeletons. I'll tell you what, they're the secret heroes here.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are 3 arises, turn 1.
Yeah.
I mean, they'd be dead otherwise. So
if this was a game of chess, that's seeing 9 moves ahead.
But but yeah, in the last combat, I do 2 wounds to him, and then he turns like this. I do get in. It's looking really, really positive. I go into the Reavers as well to clear them up and get some points.
How come he's turned sideways with his lancers? I mean,
so he turned so that I couldn't turn and go higher. Obviously the field is he's now going right. Just objective. Think of objective.
Or would you have charged in his flank? I mean, you're in his flank anyway, actually.
I don't think it was
got more in.
This is to keep me there because I can't. This was it. I wasn't failing. I can't reform because the court takes up too many models. So right now, I couldn't reform that way because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I can't reform that way to get 7 in.
The court would always be at the front. Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
So that's why I think.
Well, at least we've had a lesson on vampire discipline after General goes down. So
yes, absolutely. So then we go in like that. Yeah, not much else to say. Grave Calls comes down, and obviously because I can do it to him when I'm in combat, I just can't do it while he's in combat. And luckily for me, he's now out of combat. Comes down, does the last wound. I think it overkilled him, but it doesn't matter. It's points. Overkill. I don't kill the Reavers. So actually, I was just thinking I'd just kill him. I didn't consider.
Was it one of those? Option. Shall we just remove them? Moment. I suppose you don't need to because we've got like 9 hours to your battle.
Yeah. We got plenty of time. We're not. So you can see the Sea Guard on the left there have turned around and rallied. They flee at this point, and I take a test to go after him, and obviously I want to go after him because of the little thing. Not that it would be terrible, but I pass it thankfully, and I stick around there. He flees with his one because of combat res basically, and I do a few wounds as well. I choose not to go after him with skeletons. Obviously,
you don't want to open up a gap on the field.
But I do it with the ghouls because if I can get their points, but I don't. He's rallying on half leadership now, and gives me some points as well. So I've picked up. You
can always Graves call him if you have time.
Exactly. Yeah, I've got a decent amount of points at this point, and I'm doing all right. Over here, he continues to flee.
Okay.
Fleeing, so I mean, it was on half leadership to be fair. Fleeing through his initiate, and boy, his luck stank because his initiate rolled an 11, panicked off the board, and whoa, this is just like, oh man. I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry. It's just like everything.
I'm so sorry as I count up my extra points I've just got.
I'm so sorry. How much was he, by the way?
Yeah. How much is that I've got?
It was a bit embarrassing how bad his dice was.
Filthy boy.
Yeah. So he moves up like so with his mage to try and get some ice and fire points, and really at this point, ice and fire is the only thing I'm stopping. Which I do, and this is just him moving around, I think. Is it him moving around or me moving around? Yeah, him moving around. It's just 2 pictures of the same thing. Yep. So just to show you, so it's 4 Queens Guard come up to shoot me. Everything else.
Your bats are going on a holiday.
Well, if they can get up. I basically got this moment to see, I'll ask the coach, do I need to push for big points and get the objective, basically? Or can I just hold and get a decent-ish win? So, there's this. Over here, I charge to get some more points with the
Grey Watchers.
Skeleton, the Grey Watchers. He's got 7, so I might not kill them, I guess, is the thought. I don't know. But go in and then it just
I think your vampire on the court will handle it alone, too.
Yeah, I was thinking that, and at this point, could I have? I'll just go back. No, I couldn't.
Port's got impact hits, doesn't it? Or is it not?
Impact hits, 6 attacks from the
no sweat.
The vampires. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be doing that, and I turned around this way to face with the ghouls. I just kind of back off on the right. This is my last turn now, so I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to risk. I'm not going to risk. I've got loads of points. I'm not going to risk anything silly on the right side. So that was the plan. Over here, the craziest thing happens. I think I do 5 wounds to them.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what they're for. And I fail a restrain check, which, as you can see, kind of
I can see it already.
Opens up a gap in that field.
Is this your turn 6?
This is my turn 6.
No! And he's going last.
These skeletons that have got so many points, they do catch the Grey Watchers at least. But they kind of get a bit gung-ho.
I don't care about that.
Fail the restrain check, and if,
oh no!
As you can see, I have fallen into the trap. I should have just not charged because.
Ooh. So it was a re-rollable 7 you failed then to restrain pursuit.
It was. So. His
little Sea Guard unit runs in.
One last big roll of the game, basically. So we're like, you know what? Nothing else is going to happen. The only thing that matters is that you have a march check. And with his bad luck of the whole game, darn it, he makes it. Oh. And I couldn't be angry. Because
no, not really. I mean, you'd love to have been angry, but
I'd love to have been angry, but I mean, this was me inside. I was just going, I can't believe this has happened. I was up for so many points. But fair play. And it kind of, in a weird way, I know it's ETC and it's not that thing, but it kind of...
It's consolation prize, for being such a good sport.
Balanced it out a bit. And he was a great sport with everything. And like, we were having so much banter about me. Once I did that, he was like, you've fallen into the trap. I just need to survive now. All this stuff. And... yeah, it was. I
don't think I'd have celebrated until the March check, to be honest.
Well, like as we said, like impact hits and 6 attacks plus 10 attacks, 16 attacks. Kind of think I should. I'm not sure what the average is, but I kind of think I should kill him. You know, but hey ho. And yes, I mean, wah, as Tommy would put it.
Exactly. He certainly would.
And takes me over into the game.
Points-wise,
it's a absolutely smashed it. Absolutely smashed it. However, the objective swung it way back to an 11-9.
Yeah.
I mean,
wow.
I mean, let's be honest, deserved to lose big time. But still,
I don't know about that. I don't know if you deserve to lose big time, but you got away with it.
We'll agree to disagree. But it's still a win. I'm still technically unbeaten. However, there is one thing we didn't do, and we didn't realise till this was the next day. He came up to me, I think, was when my general died. Of course, the units take things. Doesn't matter anywhere apart from the wraiths, which would have given him half points for the wraiths.
Oh wow, you weren't doing break discipline checks for your general.
No, it's not. It's not discipline. You just lose a wound. No.
Oh, I see.
It's changed somewhat. So we did it wrong, and I should have lost a wound, which would have got half points on the wraiths, which I think possibly takes it to a 10-10. But we'd already done everything, already put everything in.
Oh yeah, it was easily done. It's really easily done.
We're not going to change it. Even say we're not going to change anything, but morally, it was. I was like, yeah, fair play. But yeah, it was a really, really fun battle. By far, one of my best sports. Just because of what.
Because everyone else you played was a nutter.
Yeah, really. No, the opposite. Everyone was really great. But he gets the nod, I guess.
Of course, the sympathy award,
and how just great he was about it. Especially as, like, I guess, the high stakes, quote unquote, of ETC, and how good he was about it. Right. So,
how did the team do?
So obviously, I kind of come away with my win, even though I didn't really, but I kind of did.
You only said 12 though, so it's
I only said 12, so I'm one
end,
down. So I'm like, okay, right. Obviously, if we all do only one down, we might be all right.
And you didn't mention to anyone about the losing the objective at the last minute thing, or losing the draw. Yeah.
Quiet, baby.
They don't know. They still don't know around now, do they? Yeah.
They still don't know, and it will always
they won't
be a
find
secret
out
forever. Yeah.
Absolutely, yes, it will.
So I come away with my greenish, although it wasn't orange, And so
Oh, that
did the
looks
rest of the
better.
team.
That
So we
looks a
had
bit better.
we
Even
had some
Darren
big.
did a decent job getting a 5 there.
Darren got his
I
prediction.
don't mean even Darren. I mean, even that result turned out pretty well.
Yeah,
For a
Darren got
red.
his prediction. The of the two oranges, one of them got dead on predictions, so that's good. And then
Where's that a bit of a nightmare?
yeah,
Well, it was only an orange, yellowy
yeah,
orange. So
say, and then the other three, or the other four, we got pretty
Mm.
much with Josh, and the rest big wins.
great.
So
great.
looking good overall.
Yeah.
England's
Nice.
first wins, baby.
Hey, not quite a
And,
cap, but is that right?
Not quite
a
cap, no, because it was 106,
Mhm.
160 was the cap.
Yeah. But that's really good.
But
Really
yeah,
good. Back
we got
in
our win.
in the game.
Back up to sort of the mid tables,
Yeah.
if you will, and really happy to get a win. And I know this probably isn't the Team England of old in terms of getting win after win after win, whatever, and trying to compete for podium, whatever. But getting that first win really helped us as a team, because I know that some of them as well were a bit down after day one. Well, day naught, I should say.
Yeah.
And then obviously the first game being so bad, to get that win was really good as a team, and we were able to get to the bar
go out
later.
and have an evening of it now, rather than
exactly. It was a nice little
with your wow-wows.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a nice little pick me up, and well done, team. And so
team.
can we move on from here? And obviously all the banter with the home nations going, oh, well, you're not doing this so great. I was like, yeah, right. But yeah, so, and I mean, personally, I'm now
still undefeated. 2 wins, two draws. Is that? No, 3 wins and a draw.
Yeah, so
this week
out of the four games, I got 11, 10, and 13. So
very solid, solid consistency.
So in terms of goals, I've pretty much so far of all the ETC stuff, I've already got the goal of not getting trounced at every game. So that's already gone.
Yeah, that was. I mean, if you'd have managed that, it would have been an achievement.
Yes, absolutely. So I've got that now, because I've had 4 games where I haven't been trounced. Because this is kind of like the halfway stage of everything, really, in terms of
4 out of 8. Yeah,
4 out of 8. I've got a few wins, so that's another goal ticked. The things I need to stop now, or now I'm looking for, is to not get 20'd. That's a huge one for me. And if I can, to get a big win, because I'd like a game. Really, I felt like a lot of these have been quite tedious. No, I don't mean that. I mean tentative, I think. And I would like a game where I feel in control. I push it and I get a big win. That's on a really selfish level. Take out Team England. That's what we're over for. Otherwise, we're looking for mid-table to top third would be great. Top third. Would be great for Team England.
and you obviously have the rivalry with the home nations as well. So.
And the second one is if we come up against the home nations to beat them, but really top home nation is the thing. And with this big win, it at least gets us back in the mix. But I think at this point, Ireland and Wales are doing really well. So there we go. But yes, overall, this was a really big pick me up, I think, for us in terms of that. And we roll on to game 3 and day 3, 2 technically, but 3.
Sweet. Well done you. Well done. Well done for that curse you did on his dice. Because clearly that worked. Was he borrowing my dice? No, anyway.
So.
Brilliant. So give us your comments on how Lucky Sixes got away with that one. Let us know your thoughts on it. Is this the Luxembourg flag? Is what we really need to know.
Yes, that's the main thing. Yes. We need confirmation now.
Yes. Brilliant. So we'll look forward to day 2. Finding out how much you had to drink on that first night.
We're moving to 2 battles a week as well, though. So
for a little bit.
So let us know in terms of that, whether you like that and whether that works out for you guys. And more content is more money, more power. And otherwise, like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. We still have a Patreon. Obviously, we did a lot with the Mega Battle, and we're probably looking to do a bit more in the future, especially next year. So give you a bit of time to get on for that regard.
Join us.
Join us. Have a great day. Stay safe. And as always, we'll see you later.